Informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
"15 minutes after 12 in Ghana. Good day to you. I'm Kevin Smith with your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. ExxonMobil subsidiary Esso has informed a team of auditors representing the interest of the state that it would not be able to present all of its financial data or statements covering the period 1999 to 2004. The affiliate explained that the main reason for this dilemma is that its accounting system was purged during that time in an effort to accommodate a switch to its parent company's accounting system. The foregoing was outlined in a March 2021 report that was produced by British firm IHS Markit. According to the report, IHS said the accounting or financing systems deployed by Esso have evolved over the years as the complexity of the operations has grown. It said between 1999 and 2016, Esso utilized a standalone version of P2 Energy Solutions IDS oil and gas accounting software, a common tool used for new exploration areas, thereby offering rapid deployment. As of 2017, the auditor said Esso migrated over to the ExxonMobil Worldwide Corporate, which runs on IPS, an SAP-based accounting and financial management platform. IHS explained that this platform is used worldwide for all ExxonMobil-operated assets and offers additional sophistication as required for development and production assets. The Guyana Revenue Authority has been fighting tooth and nail to understand how two Stabroek Block partners charged Guyana some $28.8 million in expenses they incurred before signing onto a production sharing agreement with ExxonMobil's affiliate Esso. In a report, GRA said on two occasions it pushed British auditor IHS Markit to examine the joint operating agreements between ExxonMobil and its partners, Hess and CNOOC. Guyana's auditing team, which includes DRA, had urged for the joint operating agreement among the partners to be scrutinized since the $28.8 million could not be traced to Esso's general ledger. The first request for this to be done was communicated to IHS in May of 2021. The British company rejected the request as well as the arguments preferred by the Revenue Authority on this matter. The company essentially told GRA that the documents are simply not relevant. And the findings and recommendations of an audit may not be enough to ensure Guyana is not cheated by the Stabroek Block partners, ExxonMobil, Hess and CNOOC during production activities. This is so, as the 2016 PSA states that while the contractor will be allowed to recover costs in dispute, the matter will only be resolved through arbitration if the two sides fail to reach an agreement within 60 days after the disagreement is flagged. This process can go on for over 1 year after the tribunal is fully constituted. And police in Region 3 are currently investigating the death of a 26-year-old fisherman of Anna Catharina, West Coast Demerara, who was stabbed to death after an argument ensued between him and 5 other men Tuesday morning. Dead is Munaf Azim, of Seaview, Anna Katerina, who was attacked just before 8 hours that day at the seawall area in the Anna Katerina community. Reports are that the 5 men at around 7 hours 55 on Tuesday approached Azim at the seawall and accused him of chopping up their seine. It is understood that one of the men was armed with a cutlass, while another was armed with a knife. The justice sector was allocated $6.2 billion US dollars. That should be 6.2 billion Guyana dollars this year. And the Supreme Court of Justice is looking to spend some 20.3 million to do rewiring works at the Fort Wellington Magistrates Court located in Region 5. This was revealed during the latest opening of tenders at the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, which stated that 9 contractors have applied for the job. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We'll return shortly after the break.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
It seems like children have been home from school forever, and you've done baking, drawing, schoolwork, and played Ring of Roses about 100 times. We've all been under some strain lately, but let us embrace our children. They're under strain too. Let's show them more love, patience, and care. Let's help to build their resilience in these trying times. Not just today or tomorrow, but for the future. Their future.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Welcome back. Kaieteur News publisher Glenn Lal has responded to former president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Timothy Tucker, who said those who ask for a renegotiation of the lopsided contract, which has been heavily criticized for benefiting ExxonMobil and its partners more than Guyana, is bad for business and low-life mentality. Lal has been on the forefront, highlighting the lopsided terms in the 2016 production sharing agreement Guyana signed onto with Exxon. Lal added that knowing how wounded Guyana is with the contract, he never expected such a comment would come from someone who represented the business sector in Guyana. And amid widespread concerns over the lopsided ExxonMobil contract, the company on Tuesday announced the arrival of its third floating production, storage and offloading vessel, Prosperity. Prosperity will operate in the Payara field in the Stabroek Block, offshore Guyana. It will produce around 220,000 barrels of oil per day during its initial phase and was constructed to store a total of 2 million barrels of oil. ESSO, in a brief media statement, said Payara is expected to start up later this year. And one day after it was reported that a huge hole along the $6 billion Sheriff Mandela Road is damaging vehicles, the Ministry of Public Works came forward to clarify that GTT is to blame. The ministry, in a statement on its Facebook page, accused the company of failing to maintain a metal chamber on Sheriff Street that it uses to access its utility or telecommunications cables. The alleged damage in the form of a huge hole is the cover of a metal chamber used by GTT to access its utility corridor underground along both Sheriff Street and Mandela Avenue. These facilities, related the ministry, are operated and maintained by GTT. Public Works Minister Juan Edgil has since instructed that the area be cordoned off with reflective cones so the drivers can see the metal chamber from a distance until GTT corrects the issue. And an ex-member of the Guyana Police Force was on Tuesday charged for defrauding a woman of over $2 million. The defendant was identified as 46-year-old Paul Watson, who made his court appearance at the Lenora Magistrates Court and was charged with 4 counts of intent to defraud. It is alleged that Watson, between 2019 and 2020, claimed that he was still a policeman and was able to file a notice of appeal on her behalf. The woman paid him a total of $2.7 million to make the transaction, but Watson never did. The matter was reported and an investigation was launched. Watson has pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted a total bail of $1.3 million. The defendant is expected to return to court on May 15th. And now it's time to close things off by turning the pages of today's Kaieteur News to page 7, dedicated to being blunt. Bara Jagdeo, the reverse Midas. Everything he touches turns into a gutter or a sewer. The Vice President gave Guyanese the Marriott and billions in debt on their heads. Now it is Marriott Chapter 2. He is selling the golden goose. Like the later Midas, Jagdeo takes what has life and makes it lifeless. The Marriott is now on the chopping block. Under Jagdeo, another rich piece of Guyana is going down the drain. Who knows? Jagdeo may already have Marriott Chapter 3 up his sleeve. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Marriott Part 4.
Secondly, so this Marriott, first of all, it was controversially built because people said it's going to be a white elephant. The Kaieteur News, until recently, said I owned it. This was a year and a half ago. I appeared on a program with Glenn Lal, and he thought I still owned the Marriott. Jagdeo owned it because they'd spread that lie so much that he even believed his own lies that he spread. And many people believed it. I don't own the Marriott. Marriott was always 100% owned by the government of Guyana. So at that time, it would have been a white elephant. At that time, you recall Vulcan protesting in front of the Marriott at its opening and saying they will convert this into a hospital when APNU got into office. That was the plan. They said that. Didn't get converted into the hospital.
It was controversial. He sell out the most profitable GT&T shares. On to this day, none of us know whose hands it landed in. Take the cash and build the hotel. Now admitting it was a white elephant at the time. What he's not telling you is the secret people he installed through a Trinidad bank had to be paid, although the hotel was losing money. He's not saying that part.
Without Marriott today, I doubt whether we would have been able to do what we're doing now. So Marriott has emerged as a profitable venture today. It is making a profit. Secondly, the government didn't need to own a hotel at that time, but the era was that we were not getting new hotels built, and we had to trigger the investment.
So today, it emerges as a profitable business because of oil. His excuse for building the white elephant was to trigger investment in the country. Yes. Take the profitable GT&T share to throw on a dead duck. He didn't say he wanted to put hand on the Pegasus And because he didn't get through, he used our tax dollars for bringing the Marriott to run the Pegasus out of business. Coalition came in and put a spoke in that plot to huff it out. Today, he's back. And the game plan is back in action.
So now it would be best to sell the Marriott off. You could probably maximize the price that you will get when it's profitable and before the 7 new hotels that are privately built, that are international brands, come on the market. It is the period. You maximize the period in which you sell. This money will go back. Some of it will go to clear off the remaining loan, and some will come to the Treasury to be used back for whatever purpose is determined. And so this is probably the best time when you can maximize the value before you get competition from 7 other hotels coming into the market within a year or 2. You get maximum value. It's a business decision. Governments have to be run like business. It's not cake shop operation. And that is why I thought people would, some of these same people who are writing, you have to operate this way.
So now is the best time to sell it off, to maximize the price, because 7 new international brand is being built by foreigners. You maximize the period in which you sell. Some money will go pay off the remaining loan and the rest going back to the Treasury. We have to run government like a business, not like a cake shop. A hotel that is making minimum 15 million US a year, if it sells for about 75 million US, with a casino there, in 3 years the owner make back his money, and for the rest of his life is pure profits. What a way to huff people's money-making machine. At his last press conference, hear how he given himself wiggle room to wiggle out from this scheme. Like he and all smelling how stink this plot is.
As I said before when I answered that question last week to Marcel, that they're now, they had the expressions of interest, and now the price proposals have to come in. And once that comes in, at that stage, we probably know what all the prices are that we've received. So assuming, I'm just saying this, assuming if you're not comfortable that we don't believe that the price is a price that reflects the valuable nature of the property, we are under no obligation to proceed with it, but we're not at that stage as yet.
If the price not right, he's not going to sell it. Bent on selling out business that can bring 30 million US every year when a casino is added. Some people just don't have any shame in life. God bless all of you.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Whether you Louis Vuitton it up or Reebok, you see the hate that they